And good evening, everyone. I'm Jake Cashmere alongside my colleague and good friend, Michael Williams. As we are wrapping up our on-air town hall, Price Out of Paradise, we continue this dialogue on our digital platforms right now. A very important dialogue, Michael, that continues to reverberate across South Florida.
And one of the things we'll be doing today, as we talk to our panelists, who you'll introduce in a moment, is helping you at home understand some of what's going on, including in Tallahassee with Florida lawmakers in terms of property insurance relief to try to help bring things for people back to some sense of sanity as it regards our finances, our pocketbooks, the ability to afford insurance, to afford homes, and to look at other options that can really help people who are struggling. As we saw in our town hall, we hope many of you joined us for, but many struggling in a very profound way. And we hope to give you some answers tonight.
That's right. Head to WPTV.com. We've got a lot of information there on all our resources. That town hall will also be airing on our 24-hour digital channel there. You can find all that information on PTV.com. But right now, we want to get some of our guests who have joined us, three of whom joined us for the town hall right now. I want to welcome in Dr. Ken Johnson from FAU, an economics professor. Dr. Johnson, thank you for being with us tonight, sir.
Glad to be here.
And we also have Eve Stafford. She's a Palm Beach Gardens business owner and a renter as well, joined by Greg McManus. He is a local agent. Thank you both for joining us tonight.
No problem. Jay,
thanks for having us.
It was good to have you all. We might want to jump off. We were just talking about it before air. You see the question from Peter Metzger. Jay, it's probably as good a one to jump off with right away if you want to tee that up, because it's what people are talking about a lot.
Exactly. Let's get right into this. I want to also welcome in Joe Friedman. He's a Brevard County agent as well. Joe, thanks for joining us tonight. You're going to kind of sort of big picture item and target that area. Let's go right to this. You know, we're peeling away so many layers of South Florida's housing crisis. One of them is rent and the really out of control rent prices. Rent is up 30% across South Florida, especially in Palm Beach Gardens. At Palm Beach County. Palm Beach Gardens saw some of the highest rent increases as well. Do we need emergency rent control as soon as possible? And this has been a big topic of debate because it's been argued, can the legislature do something? And the quick question is not so fast, right, Michael?
Well, I think we'll talk about the legislative piece in a moment, what they're trying to do, but we wanted to jump off with this question. We need emergency rent control ASAP. That's going to be part of the debate in Tallahassee. Dr. Johnson, we'll start off with you. People say we need help right now. Why is emergency rent control not something when you see in Miami-Dade, they're talking about a tenant bill of rights, things like that? Why isn't rent control, in your mind, a way to go?
So rent control right now would actually encourage developers to slow down the development of units. And the proximate cause of what's going on right now, the spike in rents, one half of that is on the supply side, where we have this huge inventory shortage in both homes to rent and our apartments to rent, and otherwise those to live in and own. So units to own, units to rent. We don't want to be in a position to where we slow down the production of these units. And that's what a legislative bill would, in fact, do.
You know, we're getting a lot more comments spiking right now on rent. Many of them from Palm Beach Gardens. And I know I highlighted Palm Beach Gardens, but we have Mia Burnham. She's a single mom being asked to leave her home after 14 years of being a loyal resident there. A Gardens resident says it's unreal. In February, rent in Palm Beach Gardens was up 52%. That was the highest in the state. Now, the levels have fluctuated somewhat. Eve, I want to bring you in. You're a Gardens resident as well. You're a renter there. Tell us about your story and your hardship.
Well, I've been living here in North Palm for about 7 years. And within the last, I would say, 7 months, I've received about 4 increases. And I also do not have a lease, and the landlord won't allow a lease. So I'm on month to month. So I don't have that lease protection. And also with the increase in rent, I feel that the maintenance of the property has declined. So just a question of, you know, how do we hold them accountable and what can we put in place?
And let me ask you, we hear from Cheryl Campbell. And again, this is going to be questions you're going to get a lot. And we'd ask Joe, you to jump in as well. And Greg McManus, realtor.
Yeah.
People are saying, and you see the comment from Sharon, absolutely ridiculous. The rent and the landlords are rent gouging us. It's horrible. So we can't, rent control wouldn't work. We hear you, Dr. Johnson, to the other side, where many Democrats who are in the minority in Tallahassee are pushing for rent control, which they're not going to get in a Republican legislature. Is there any middle ground? First, you, Greg, then Joe, let's jump in with you as well. First, you, Mr. McManus.
Yeah, it's definitely a problem. I think from my perspective, and I heard what they said when we were there at the town hall.
Sure.
My perspective is it's not necessarily having to do some type of rent control as much as it is a term control.
What do you mean?
It doesn't make sense when you're forcing people to live month to month. And while I understand you can set the market for your rent as a landlord, I try to look at it from both sides. You can't change what the market is on a month-to-month basis. So these tenants should really have the opportunity to at least have some type of, feeling that they're secured for a length of time more than every month. And I think that's something that needs to be addressed, that should be able to make a difference that could be done fairly quickly in my mind.
Mr. Friedman?
Yeah, I definitely agree with what the other panelists have said. Rent control is definitely not going to be the issue, the solution, unfortunately. And it is going to, we're always going to be kind of beholden to the whims of free market capitalism, for better or worse. The one thing that I think government, if they were going to step in and try to help alleviate some of the burden, would be to help boost funding for those affordable housing programs, right? So that if people may not otherwise be able to buy or rent a house, they can maybe have some funds to help contribute toward their rent so they can stay where they are.
During the town hall, we spoke candidly about that and the need for more affordable housing. And I think there's an underlying theme that Michael and I were listening to as we were watching the town hall. And to Dr. Johnson, to your point, we had an undersupply in 2008 when the market crashed. Now we have an oversupply. You have an influx of people coming in here. Representative Overdorf used, I believe a stat, almost 800 people, 845 people coming in to Florida every day. The stats are unreal. And really the common denominator is we need more supply, and thus we need more affordable housing. Yeah. That seems to be the case.
How do we begin to get from here? And I know there's no 5-point or 10-point solution plan necessarily. We'll talk about the property insurance piece that may help. But let's go around. We'll start with you, Dr. Johnson. Ultimately, our policymakers will decide. But for people who are so frustrated, so concerned, so worried they're going to be out of their home, we're seeing comments pouring in on that very topic. What at least would you say, if I'm king for a day, is the 5-point plan or the 6-point plan, whatever, that says we begin to get from here to there to balance this market out, to take the skyrocketing prices down a peg or many pegs? Where do we start? Let's begin with you, Dr. Johnson.
Sure. So a couple of things. We were actually in a tremendous oversupply in 2008 and an undersupply now. We have an overabundance of demand right now. So that's what's causing the friction. So one place, though, to look to start, and I don't think we addressed this during the town hall, but I'm a former real estate broker before I became an academic. I've owned several rental properties in my life, professional life. And one of the things I found to be true, and actually there's research out there on this, is that maximizing your rent is not monthly rent. Is not always the best way to maximize your return out of a property. So I always found it to be the case from a personal experience that, relatively speaking, I'd much rather be in there at about 90 cents on the dollar on the rent, but to have a great tenant. And so I would ask landlords to think about this while they're trying to maximize the monthly rent. I don't know if it's necessarily maximizing your bottom line. I'd much rather have a happy tenant that pays, that has concern for the property. And this is something that you want to see. Additionally, there's this side, and this is not academic, but we learn ethics from our parents and grandparents. And so you just got to think about what you're doing. I have one rental property remaining, and I sat down with my tenant and explained to them how that, rent had to go up some because my insurance cost was up significantly. My tax bill was going to go up significantly. I had not raised the rent in 2.5 years. And we settled, I can't remember if it was 10 or 11%. So I was trying to use some common sense because these are really good tenants and I didn't want to lose those tenants. So I guess I would appeal to landlords, moving away from the legislative side. I would appeal to landlords from a business sense that maybe this is the right thing business-wise to do to get a more sound tenant, and also ethically is probably the best thing to be doing. So people can't absorb 25, 30, 35% rent increases without some repercussions, not only to themselves, but the landlord.
And in some cases, rent went up $1,000. We've interviewed many people with these horror stories. Joe, I'm curious, in Brevard County, we know so well and have documented it here in Palm Beach, in our 5-county viewing area, in Martin County, Indian River, all over, up in the northern part of the state and the central part of the state. What's the landscape like when it comes to rent? Is it the same visual perspective as we're seeing on paper here?
Oh, it's very much the same here. I recently had somebody approach me to rent a property that it was a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home, nothing particularly special. And 2 years ago, it would have been maybe $1,500. And when we went to market with that, we asked $2,300, and there were 45 applicants within 2 days, which is. It speaks to what a vacuum of supply we have right now. And nothing is going to fix this until we fix that supply problem.
But then how do you incentivize people to fix the supply problem and to create more affordable housing? Let's begin with you, Greg McManus. We heard you all talk about this on our broadcast, including Christina Pappas with the Florida Association of Realtors, the president of the Florida Realtors Group. How do we, if the supply is the problem and we need more affordable housing, how do we begin realistically to get from here to there?
Wow, that's a great question that I don't know that I have the answer to, which is why I was asking her. I don't know that technology companies are the answer to that specifically. I do think that we need to move forward with building new properties to increase that supply. I mean, let's be honest, we're a little landlocked. Here where we live, at least in Palm Beach Gardens, Jupiter area, West Palm Beach. And I know they've done a lot out west, but a lot of these people are trying to move east. So until we can find a way, I guess, to go up and not out and get these projects done as quickly as possible, it is a supply problem. My question was kind of personal for me, because trying to help people right now who are they would love to move from a condo into a home, and they are scared to death to list their condo with the fear of they're going to have nowhere to live, trying to find somewhere else. And so it's definitely, there's no easy answer, I don't think, to that question, other than the fact of, and I think everyone's kind of in agreement that we have to get some stuff built and built quickly. We obviously want to live here because everyone else wants to live here too, and no one wants to really leave. So we got to make space for this influx.
And we talked to Jeff Dobbins. I know he's on our commentary board right now. He was a part of our discussion at the town hall. He said, how about home builders getting approval to build $1 million homes in order for them to get these approvals, to also have a contingency for these same builders to build affordable housing as well. There is a development issue there where you have to work with the developers to incentivize them as well to build this affordable housing. So it's going to be interesting to see how this market unravels and how we navigate this.
And that's an excellent question. I was just sitting here thinking, are we going to come to the point, anybody weigh in, where we're going to have to say, if you as a developer, much as for many, many decades, you paid impact fees and pay impact fees to help with infrastructure, school building and the like, if you want to put your development somewhere, are we coming to the day where we're going to have to see whether it's lawsuits or political leaders who see too many Floridians who are putting their foot down saying you've got to change? We're going to come to a world where part of your impact fees will have to include, if you can build this swath of homes, you've got to build this swath that are considered affordable housing to create the supply. Professor Johnson, first you, and then let's go around.
Sure. So in fact, in practice, Michael, that's already in place.
Okay.
But one of the problems with that is each individual development between a municipality working with a developer is a one-off negotiation. There's a lot of uncertainty and non-transparency. It's opaque. How do we move through this process? No one seems to know. So quite honestly, a lot of this supply issue rests both at the feet of the developers and at the feet of local municipal governments, where it is very difficult to have someone explain to you what is the process that you go through. Most states are not as, or I should say, most states have more transparent rules for bringing property to market. Now, impact fees, the amazing thing is they're different every time. That is not good business. The state from which I'm from originally, but I've been down here 20 years, I could go to the county and I could learn what it would cost me to pour streets and to be able to turn back to, say, the county or the city. And once one easy little equation, and I could sit down and get that solved, and I would know if I could build or not. within a matter of hours. That process isn't here now. And I understand part of it. We're worried about environmental regulations and we got sea level rise, but we have to put pressure on both developers and on the county and the municipalities to expedite this process. Don't let one point at the other. We should all point at both of them.
And Jay just pointed out a great question, which I think goes to the heart of this discussion. Jay, you just eagle-eyed in on it. We need to bring that up.
Tracy Cartwright Boysaw says right now, we need to define affordable. It's a great question. What is affordable, Dr. Johnson? And well, Greg, start out. Let's go. We'll go round table here.
And Eve, you haven't spoken in a while. You've had trouble. What? Eve, Greg, I mean, it was such a great question. I saw Jay's eyes. He's like, wait, what is affordable, and the environment for whether it's our region or beyond that allows people to come here, work, contribute to the community, and allow the community to grow. Eve, what is your thought? What's affordable?
The thing is, what we're making hasn't changed, but the cost of living has gone up. Whether it's groceries, gas, the increase in rent, it's been so extreme, and it doesn't match what we're currently making because what we're making hasn't really changed.
So what's affordable to you in a range? What would be practical?
I mean, paying $2,000 to $3,000 a month for rent in a very small condo with no amenities, I think that's kind of outrageous. So
yeah, so that would equate to roughly a $300,000 to $400,000 home.
So where do we have to get, Joe Friedman and Dr. Johnson, again, to Jay's question that he keyed in on and saw from one of our viewers, what is affordable based on the numbers you all see, and how do we start moving there?
So I'm not going to pretend to be an economist in that vein, but I can, again, speak to the specifics of real estate. Specifically, if these people wanted to purchase homes, most lenders are going to hold them to a 40% of their income approximately can be applied toward their rent in order for them to get their loan to buy the home. So I think that that's a functioning baseline to define what constitutes affordable. And if homeowners are expected to pay more than 40% of their wages just to stay dry when it's raining, just to have a roof over their heads, that's probably not affordable. And I have to say, Dr. Johnson, I completely and wholeheartedly agree with everything you've said so far. I think the builders, a lot of people like to point fingers at the builders. I do think the government and the opaque process of moving through the development process is a significant impediment. I think that needs to be addressed, and then a lot of the developers will be able to build more and more quickly, which is the only long-term solution to address the supply. And I completely understand and appreciate Florida has a very unique ecosystem. It's a very fragile ecosystem, and we obviously need to make it a priority to protect that for generations to come for all Floridians, and that includes the ones who need homes right now. And one other thing, if I may, I just want to point out, it is extremely profitable for a builder to build that $1 million home, but it is also extremely profitable for them to build multifamily. Mm-hmm. So we need to address zoning regulations that say, hey, we want you to build multifamily housing, but over there, we don't want it next to this nice community. Well, we get that, right? The whole not in my backyard thing, NIMBYs, right? But it's very profitable for these builders to build multifamily housing. And if they don't have zoning impediments to that, it's going to also greatly alleviate the supply problem.
Great point, Joe. And Dr. Johnson, before you pick up, I just want to add real quickly, Tracy Cartwright Boysaw added here, school teachers, police, firefighters, our workforce, the people that are working so hard, our working class families that support our communities locally. We've done so many stories, countless stories, and sad stories. They're moving out. They're moving to Port St. Lucie or to areas out of the county, and they have now an hour commute to work. We need these people in our community. We need them here. We all have to have that. So, Dr. Johnson, when we talk about what is affordability, it strikes to the heart of the very working class family here. And so talk to us your thoughts on what you've heard with what Joe said and affordability and how this makes sense.
Sure. So affordability is defined in terms of some development of properties, what's affordable, what's workforce housing, and we could get all confused about what those measures are. But basically, Joe was right. It's somewhere between 25 and 40%. If you're spending more than that of your monthly gross, then you're really being overtaxed. 25 is probably on the low end, 40 is definitely on the high end. So the other thing that we want to do, again, for affordability is to, I would say, also encourage other builders to come back into the market. When we had the crash, and it might not even be the same ones, but when we had the crash a decade plus ago, that put so many developers out of business. Today, pretty much, there's the major U.S. home builders, and there's another group that develop multifamily. So it's a small number of suppliers. We need to do things as soon as possible about getting more of the small developers back into the game. Most have gone away, and they would be competition for the bigger builders. They might not be able to build in the $1 million units, but be able to provide more affordable or workforce housing. Now, that's got to be in combination with the availability of lots. And it would be nice if I was the mayor of a municipality and I could say, look, major developer, I can always go over here to the smaller developer if you don't want to provide what is needed. So we need to get more developers back into the game as well.
We need to segue just a bit, and I'd ask for you who are joining us, and we appreciate all your comments. We're putting together our own resource list. One of the things we heard in the town hall, there are a lot of resources. There's a move at the state level to incentivize the ability to help firefighters, teachers, people on the front lines, programs underway with that. We're trying to put our own resource list together. One of the things we found is a lot of people said, oh, it's a neat resource. I didn't know about it at the county level. I didn't know about it at the state level. So even before we went to air today, we talked about it. I'd like to see for those of you at home to weigh in too, because we're talking about you need more supply. That means getting people willing to build. That means being able to afford to build, afford to buy, and insure what you're buying. We'll jump into the property insurance part in a minute, but Jay, one of the things you've keyed on in a lot of your great pieces and that of our team is how do people afford to buy a home, even a starter home here? And where's that market right now? What do you as realtors see about how we're going to try and get some degree of balance back into the home buying market as well? And I think that's something you've touched on a lot.
And Greg and Joe, I'll just pick up what Michael just said, and then I want you guys to answer. We interviewed some realtors recently that said we only have a 1 month supply of inventory. We need a 3 month supply. Talk about that. Is that the case right now? Are those the numbers that you see? And to Michael's point, where's our do you see inventory climbing here and getting more inventory, or will we remain this way when we talk in 6 months to a year?
Yeah, I agree with that. We're at about a 30-day supply here in Palm Beach Gardens area. And I think that to my question in the town hall, until you have local, because right now the only people that are selling are those moving out of the area or those that are in a crisis situation, which is a lot of what you get for listings. But what we're missing is those local people who want to just make a change. And so none of those people that I'm talking to are comfortable enough to make that jump to do that right now. So it is definitely a supply shortage on that side for single family.
Joe, your thoughts on that?
100% agree, Greg. I'll tell you, I'm actually surprised in this metric that our numbers are even more daunting than yours, because up here in Brevard County, where I operate, we have less than 30-day supply. We're close to like 25, 24-day supply. And it may be prudent to talk about what that means for people who don't know absorption rate. That means that if no new homes hit the market tomorrow, the entire inventory of homes would be consumed within 24 days. And I think somebody referenced 3 months being balanced. Actually, in my experience, 6 months is truly a balanced market. 3 months is even still a seller's market, just not like what we're experiencing right now. And Greg, again, you hit the nail on the head when you said that people they're just not moving. If they have the luxury of discretion, they're choosing to stay put. They don't want to move because they know they're buying into this same wonky market that they're selling into, right? The only people moving right now, the only people selling homes are those with an external factor. They've accepted a new job. They're having a baby. They need more room. They have to have something driving them, because otherwise people are sitting back. They don't want to voluntarily jump into the market if they don't have to.
The anecdotal wisdom has been COVID's driven a lot of people so to want to buy, working the ability to work from home. They'd rather live in the Sunshine State than in the frozen North. COVID and a relative lack of restrictions here compared to some other states have been drivers. First, weigh in if you agree. Second, given all that, what turns this back to more of a neutral or buyer's market at the end of the day, if anything? Or are we looking at sustained different plateaus for home prices that, absent, as one wag said, wait till the first big hurricane, everybody will head back north? We certainly don't want to see that. And this person really wasn't joking, actually. But of course, we pray that we never have a catastrophe of any sort. But what gets the market back to neutral or to a buyer's market, or are we a long way from that? First, you, Joe.
All the data indicates we are a very long way from that. 41 years, born and raised, native Floridian. So I don't think hurricanes are going to do it. It's just a long-term supply issue. But there is, I would say, a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. We are seeing just a little bit of settling here, which is, I caution everybody, please do not expect there to be that crash. It's not coming. The data just doesn't support it. But what we're going to see is, instead of appreciation continuing like this, it's going to level off. It's going to follow CPI, 3, 4, or 5%. And you're going to start seeing that pendulum swing back. It's going to get closer to that 3-month inventory, 6-month inventory, whatever. It's going to take a lot of time. And I know that doesn't offer comfort to anybody right now who's, at a critical point. But that is the only thing that's going to change the dynamic. And it will happen. It always does. But it's not happening anytime soon, because it's all going to be all about that supply. And until there's enough homes, we're going to have that supply issue.
Dr. Johnson, weigh in, and you, Greg. Bottom line, though, even if things taper off at current interest rates, people feel like they can't win for losing. If it tapers off, for some people who need to take a loan, there are a lot of cash buyers here. They're like, well, I can't afford 5 or 6% when we've been looking at historically low rates. So we know, for those of you writing in, it's enormously frustrating and just not something that has these easy checklist answers that would be disingenuous at best. But at least for that potential homeowner, any tips you can give for them? And then we want to move straight into property insurance. But what can you say to the person just trying to get their foot in the door on home buying? Any tips?
Greg, you want to weigh in?
Yeah, I mean, if, to Joe's point, he's 100% correct. I do think that we will have a little bit of level off. I think there's a percentage of people that will just give up on trying to move down here. If you go through multiple offers, there comes a point where you just kind of give up on that. But, it's just the difference of there being 20 offers on a home to being 5. So it is something that just kind of has to weigh itself out. For those that do want to move, though, I think the thing is just to be persistent. It is important, regardless of where you are, is to find a good realtor that knows the local area, that knows the other realtors that do have the listings, listing those properties. And try to build that relationship. There are sellers out there that still care about the situation and what you're moving for and what your family situation is. And there's a lot of homeowners that want to know, the people moving into their home are a certain type of people. So, I would just say be persistent. You just have to keep plugging away until you find something that you're happy with and you have, the right situation.
Yeah, you both pointed out 2 things that I've heard commonly in the last 6 months. Find a good realtor that knows the market in and out and knows when those homes are coming to the market. And then get all your ducks in a row, get all your paperwork in a row if you have to finance, because sometimes you have to act quickly. And they suggest having everything in place. So you guys are picking up on the same facts. Appreciate all those, because I know each and every one of these little tactics can help. Samira Ladi Dadi says, what are some questions to ask landlords to help tenants in this housing crisis? And Dr. Johnson, I know you spoke candidly about landlords, humanizing the situation for a bit, but what would be some questions some of these renters can ask landlords who are in a dire situation that may help extend life to where they are?
Well, one of the things I would point out to a landlord, if I was already living in a particular unit, is that the cost of moving is not only costly to me as the tenant, but it's costly to the landlord. 1 month's loss in rent is hard to make up over the other 11 months. And gosh forbid, be it 2 months. So that's part and parcel of the reasoning why it might be better to lease at, say, 90% of the market and stay rented year round, as opposed to trying to max out 100% for each month's rent. So that's the first thing I would do, is sit down and talk about, hey, why don't we think about, let's work out with me in advance how I'm going to be able to stay here. You're not going to lose rent. Another thing that you might want to talk about with particular landlords, and everybody's not in this position, but one of the things I've had good luck doing when I first came down here was I was saving money to buy, and this was right at 2000, 2001, and saving up money to buy, but I ended up renting. I thought prices were too high. And because I had some savings towards that I was planning on to put towards owning, I actually offered up a larger amount of deposit, obviously contingent on me delivering the unit back to them in the same shape and paying rents, et cetera. But when I offered up the larger deposit, it put the landlord in less of a risky position, because if I didn't pay or if I didn't take care of the unit. So, but not everybody's in that position. But if you are, to increase your deposit a little bit, because you are telling that landlord, I am less risky than the typical tenant. Also, if I'm already in place, I might obviously use the same strategy, and again point out that perhaps it might be best to keep me here as opposed to finding a new tenant.
Let me ask too, we'd be remiss, property insurance, even as we speak, lawmakers are in Tallahassee. We have from ZZ, it's a long remark, and we'll read just part of it, but wanted any of you to weigh in. Do you think we're going to get substantial property insurance relief? Zeta, talking about outrageous. So many people said that. Gigantic increases. Companies at last count 7 who said they're liquidating, more on the way. All of you at home know the problem. Roof repairs that can't afford.
She has one that she needs. She's retired, doesn't qualify for a loan. So you're caught in this web when it comes to home insurance as well. And to Michael's point, do we see any relief coming this week?
Yeah, we see some things on the board talking about from lawmakers. Again, Republicans control the legislature. Changes being debated are keeping insurers from refusing to renew policies to homeowners if your roof's less than 15 years old. A reinsurance fund for about $2 billion that would help insurers who need that kind of help. New efforts to clamp down on the fraud and assignment of benefits, or roofs that should be costing $20,000 if they need repair at all, that are being forked over and handed over in both contractors and lawyers. Some of them, certainly not the majority, but enough to create a situation. Right. We talked to somebody you spoke to the other day, Jay, said $30,000 roof suddenly is coming at $90,000. So we're seeing some of the stuff in Tallahassee. For a brief readout, is it going to matter? Is it going to help? Dr. Johnson, we'll start with you, then our realtors.
I've been worried about the insurance question all day because it's not in my power alley, so to speak.
Okay.
But it's anything, when you start adding artificial cost to a process, it makes that process far less efficient. So pricing of rents and pricing of of ownership gets a lot more difficult. So when you do have a $90,000 roof claim for something that's $30,000, that difference gets baked in everywhere, and that's risk to an owner or an insurance company, and they're going to pass on higher premiums to you. So we need to be doing things where if there's a loss, a fair amount and marketable amount is paid, but not overpaid or underpaid. And right now, the roof claim is a pretty notorious thing that's going on in Florida. My friends from out of state are even asking me about it, and they're not seeing the same thing. I'm really not so sure why it's going on here in Florida rather than other places around the country.
Well, to our two realtors, you all have a powerful lobby. How hard are you all banging the drum and saying we absolutely have to have action, because it's going to dry up your ability to sell homes if people can't afford insurance? We have a colleague who obviously we won't name. He and his wife found a beautiful home and nearly lost out on it when they heard the insurance costs. Like, you've got to be kidding me. So as the realtors in Florida, how hard are you pushing lawmakers to say, we got to have some real relief and substantive change? First you, Joe. Or Greg, you're up. Okay, Joe and then Greg.
Yeah, I know that is it is very important to the realtor community. I know that it's being actively addressed by Florida Association of Realtors, the local board, Space Coast Association of Realtors, where I am. I'm sure Beach is down where you guys are. You're absolutely right. It's easy to demonize the landlords in this situation. These greedy landlords, ooh, they're just raising rents. But they're also being handed these problems, these insurance problems, and you can hate them for it, but they're not trying to take a loss. Some people, this is just their job, just like your job or my job, right? And they can't take a loss on it. So when they're handed down these ludicrous increases in their insurance, they have no choice but to pass that on.
This is the play to me.
But Joe, I'm talking about if you're trying to sell a home, you want to sell homes. You're going to have buyers that say, Joe, guess what? I can't buy a home. I can't afford the insurance on it. That's got to be you.
I've had that happen already.
So how hard are you all pushing in Tallahassee to say, guys, we're not going to have any homes to sell if people can't afford the insurance? You and then Greg.
Yeah, that is absolutely a top priority for the realtor community. And that's why we have the lobbies we have, Florida Association of Realtors, the local boards, that it is actively being worked upon in Tallahassee. I'm not personally leading that charge. No one has rang my phone, but rest assured, I'm feeling it right here, and I'm sure Greg is too, and I'm sure, and unfortunately, all the homeowners are, the consumers are.
Greg, your thoughts?
Yeah, Joe nailed it. I mean, it's, that's a fight that a lot of us realtors leave to our association and to the local boards and stuff like that. We pay into that for them to make that fight for us. And sometimes it's not even about, can we afford the insurance? We've had situations where they just won't even insure a property. Not 100%. Like, no one can find insurance for the property they're trying to buy, which is just mind-boggling to me. But yeah, it's something that definitely has to be addressed. And I think, to the doctor's point, it trickles. It's a trickle down. Anytime something is raised on the upper end of the scale that provides services down below, they're not going to absorb that cost. They're just not. They're going to pass it on to the person below them, and the person below them is going to pass it on to the person below them. And so here we are, and that's how it works.
It'll be interesting to see this week in Tallahassee what lawmakers do over the next 48 hours. There was talk that bills could hit the governor's desk by the end of the week. We'll be watching it very closely as it all unfolds this week, as I know you all will. As we wrap up this discussion here, a discussion that will continue, as I mentioned, tonight, tomorrow night, and for the rest of the year, quite frankly, until we can gain some control. It sounds like more supply is needed. It sounds like it's time for county governments and county leaders, local leaders, to come together to work with developers and whatnot to find some answers when it comes to that rent control, those issues. But we all have a stake at this. We all are affected by it in some way. So as we gather some final thoughts and peel away some of the layers of this, Dr. Johnson, we'll start with you. What advice can you give? What incentive can you give people out there who are navigating this, waking up each morning, not certain what 3 months or 6 months down the line will look like for them, whether they're in families, whether they're renting, or quite frankly, whether they're just looking to move out of state? Any advice you can give them, anything you can direct them to help and to maybe give them, we talked about we got your back, just ride this out. It's going to get better. Anything you can give them on a final note?
Sure. So it's pretty clear to me, and I believe several other economists, that the economy of Florida in total is evolving. We're evolving from agriculture, second homes, hospitality, to where we're seeing more and more medical in Orlando and Tampa, financial services in Palm Beach County, IT and Broward, Bitcoin mining in Miami. And that's all going to help everybody in the end, but it's a hard time to get from here to the end. So I think everybody's incomes, everybody's wages are going to go up, but between here and there, it's very difficult. I faced a similar situation when I moved here in 2005. I moved here from Central Alabama. Everything was incredibly more expensive. Housing was through the roof, but I thought I had a better long-term professional set of opportunities here in Florida. And I think that bore itself out. And I think it's going to happen again. But we as a society have to understand that every moment we delay in trying to take actions to solve this housing crisis, either incredibly high rents, incredibly high prices, every moment that we slow ourselves down, it decreases. One, it takes us longer to get there. And two, it decreases the likelihood that we will get there. We could make the state so unaffordable that the influx of population will slow down. And believe it or not, that's not what we want to see for the long-term betterment of Florida in general. So I would encourage everybody, look, it is going to get better. It's going to be tough in the meantime. And one of the things we're going to have to consider is what we did a lot after World War II and in the 60s, where you're going to see multi-generational living within a housing unit, either for rent, for sale, roommate type situations. The Golden Girls was not just some sitcom dreamed up. It came from real life situations. We're going to see a return of alternative housing forms to the state in bigger numbers. There's going to be a surge in manufactured housing in the state, both for rent and for sale. And nobody in Florida likes trailers. So these things are temporary and we have to bridge, and we don't necessarily like that, but I'm here and I'm not leaving. I think this is one of the better places in the country to live. And we have a short-term, dramatically difficult problem, but we've just got to get to the other side. And so things like this, we need to push for increased supply. I'll stop there.
Joe, yeah, go ahead.
No, Eve, we haven't heard from you in a little while, and you spoke eloquently the other day, being pinched. Before we hear from our two realtors, your thoughts as somebody trying to make ends meet, trying to live here. Your final thought first.
I think that right now the landlords have a lot of power, and a lot of them are taking advantage of the market and doing the increases. And a lot of times I don't feel like there is justification, and the renters need protection. You know, we need to be able to have some rights and be protected. And I think that a lot of landlords know that we're aware that we can't really afford to get our rights. So, there's like a big advantage on the landlord's end, and renters need protection.
Greg, we'll finish up with you and then Joe to cap it off for us.
First, agree 100% with her. There needs to be some push and pull with landlord and rent and tenants at the moment. But I would just say to people out there that regardless of what you're going through is, number one, ask for help if you need it. We met some amazing people at your town hall the other night. And so glad that you guys were able to connect some of them to people and get help. So people need to ask for help if you need it. Otherwise, just don't give up. If you're trying to buy a house, like we said, get a good realtor and let that person work for you and find the house that you want. If you're renting right now in your bad situation, get somebody to help you fight that battle to earn your right, to get some kind of rights, or at least get a long-term lease put in place where you can live comfortably month to month and know it's not going to change on you so drastically. But I think, to the point that he made earlier, it is a bridge and it's not going to be easy. But I would just tell people, just keep fighting.
Joe?
I think the other panelists have really said everything there is to say. This is a really tough time for a lot of people, and a lot of people are going through a lot of pain right now, and unfortunately, we're just going through it. And the solution is going to be more supply because, as Dr. Johnson said, the industry of Florida, the population of Florida is changing. Up here in Brevard County, we're basically Florida's Silicon Valley. We're the Silicon Valley of the Eastern United States. A lot of our factors in my local economy is bringing in all these high-powered tech jobs, working for government contractors. These are people who they're showing up because they were offered a fantastic job and they've got to live somewhere, right? So that's what they're doing. And the unfortunately, there isn't a magic wand. There isn't a grand, quick solution. It's just going to be good legislation at Tallahassee and letting the market do what it needs to do as it balances itself out over time.
Yeah, solutions will be slow, but we will ride this out. We will continue this discussion. We will continue this dialogue each and every day. We are committed to this series, Price Out of Paradise. We appreciate all of you joining us tonight, those of you who are online on your computers at home as well, and to our guests, Greg, Joe, Dr. Johnson, Eve, thank you all so much. And
Thank you.
Thanks.
Your stories are real. We told everybody at that town hall, Michael, we were there. It's raw. It's real. We know you're going through it, and we are here with you to guide you through it, to give you as many resources as we can.
Yeah, we have a team here, our Contact 5 team. We're looking at some of the most egregious cases where people do have legitimate reasons to say, wait a minute, this isn't even legal what's going on. And Jay, you've been leading our effort. Jay's the first one to acknowledge we've got a great team, but you've seen a lot of Jay, and Jay knows this issue inside out. We're following it. I'm going to be talking to lawmakers this week about what came out of Tallahassee. So this hasn't been a one-off. We've been covering this for months, and we're going to keep covering it in perpetuity. I say in perpetuity for a long time to come, because it's affecting all of our lives. And we're there to cover that story wherever it takes us in an effort to try and help you as best we can.
And as we speak, we are polishing up our resources list. I know Scott, who's behind the controls here, he posted a link to that. You can find that on WPTV.com. All of our town halls that we have and that we have had will all be posted online as well. You can find the one that aired tonight. We'll be running on a 24-hour news channel throughout this week. And again, WPTV.com is your place to go for any information that you need. And again, we're going to refresh that resource list as well. We're in direct communication with our county leaders as well. And that's where I believe that the conversation will start going after this week, where we see what happens in Tallahassee. We'll begin to fine tune and really gravitate toward where can we go right now to provide some relief so we can navigate this throughout the summer. Thank you all again. Appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you all.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
guys. Nice to meet you. Take care.
Good night.